Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, or good night. This is The Remembering. My name's Matthew Beal, and I'm so happy to be joined by my co-host, Chase Binney.
Hey, everybody.
So, you have found yourself here at The Remembering tonight. The show doesn't really have a special niche per se, but we like to speak about what we're really going through right now on the planet with these new awarenesses, this expansion, this conscious growth, this shift we're undertaking. And we encourage you to call in and be part of the conversation if you'd like to. So the number to call is 646-716-4598. Just call in, press 1, and we will get you in here and put you on air. So Chase, how has your week been? What have you been up to?
I've been here in South Carolina, still working on the book. We're collecting testimonials for the distilled waters. Actually, one of the big things that we're finding out is that the body heals itself. When you remove all distractions and toxins, when you stop eating the junk, or when you step out of the fire and take a little rest in your bed, then your body starts to heal itself.
I actually experienced that firsthand this week. I felt some restriction and blockages down by my sacral chakra. So kind of like underneath my belly button down there, where you sometimes get butterflies or kind of that feeling that I did something wrong, and you just feel like you have a pit in the bottom of your stomach. And I was feeling that. So what I did some research online, and I heard one of the best things you can do when you are starting to feel sick, or you're feeling like your energy is being drained. One of the best things you can do is cleanse and fast. So what I did is I didn't eat in the morning when I usually would have my breakfast. Instead, I just had some salt water, and I drank water throughout the day. I went to bed, and the next morning when I woke up, I felt this incredible release in that place where I felt blocked. And that just happened through literally focusing on that area, sending my conscious intention to accept what that part of myself, to give it space, to give it love. And I used my breathing, and I really focused on breathing into my lower back area and really breathing into the bottom of my stomach. And just by letting my body do its magic and giving it water and love and air and space, I had this incredible release. So, that worked for me. So if anyone wants to try fasting, I guess that's what Jesus did.
What would Jesus do, right?
So I thought we could talk a little bit about setting the intention for our day. Now, usually I was the type to get right out of bed, start my day, get right into whatever I had to do, roll out of the bed, and just kind of go, do. And this past week, I really experimented with waking up and assessing kind of my environment and how I was feeling, and checking in with my body early in the day, and kind of putting that conscious intention out to the universe, to source, to God, to whatever you'd like to call it, and kind of putting out the intention that universe, today I'd like you to show me the magic in my life. I'd like you to show me the things that I should pay more attention to, the things that I should be grateful for. And I put out that intention. What is the absolute best thing that could happen today? What are the most amazing miracles that I could be part of today, that I could witness today? And the more I do that, and the more I'm open, my day flows so much better, and I'm so present and joyful during the day. Do you experiment with that as well?
I do it on accident. There's a little echo. Are you running on your speakers? Because it's a little bit distracting for me.
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, a lot better.
Cool.
So I do it unconsciously sometimes. If I start the day off on a bad note, one time I was just looking through these old videos and I came across one of me getting pulled over by police, and I ended up having the video of the incident, and it brought up those fears, kind of like you were saying, like that deep in the gut there's this, when adrenaline is turned downward instead of uplifting, it gives that deep fear response. And so I started my day, I don't know why I did this, but I watched that video, and then throughout the day there were incidences of I just kept seeing police cars it would keep bringing that fear up. So I unconsciously did it then, and I learned a lot through it. And it helped me to kind of work through that fear. But to do it consciously and to say, today I'm gonna feel, I'm gonna explore what it feels like to be energetically active and physically fit. And I start to really imagine that, but not just in my mind. I imagine with my body, and then throughout the day I feel more aligned to that intention, and maybe I'll go exercise or go for a jog or something.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm realizing more and more the infinite creative and intelligent potentials of the human mind. I mean, when we begin to get really conscious of what's going on up there, the thought patterns that we hold, the energy that those thoughts are carrying. I'm getting so much more conscious of when I have a thought that's maybe self-doubt or guilty or something that is not for my growth and development, something that is less than nourishing. I've really started to really watch from that neutral witness of the thoughts without judging them. And I'm really understanding how incredibly powerful the intention, the energy behind the thought and the focus really is. And I was actually listening to my Ascension guide, Lisa Renee. She was speaking about the importance of form and structure, and that all consciousness, all energy has a maybe not a form, but an architecture or a structure to it. So when we begin to go through this self-awareness journey, this journey down the rabbit hole, or the journey into the center, the contents of our own heart and of our own mind, it gets really important to fill in the space that's left when we let go of attachments or let go of programs and belief systems and dogma and that mental rigidity. When we begin to let go of those things and open up a space of neutrality, a space of openness, or a space of unknown, openness to not knowing, it's really important also to fill in that space with a new intention or a new direction of what we want to generate or what we want to kind of move forward, move towards, because we understand when we're feeling pain, or we have a thought that is defeating and puts us down. We understand, okay, so I don't want that because that makes me feel constricted in fear and I give my power away. So when we can recognize the self-defeating thought and we can let it go, we can also connect into our core, connect into that inner space of peace and love, and get inspired to fill in that space in our mind with a positive, new, life-affirming intention. So what I've been doing is, when I notice the negative thought, when I have the awareness of my mental programming, if I'm still holding on to it that I haven't cleared yet, I'm really setting the intention that, I am rewiring the contents, the structure of my brain, of my neural processes. I tell my body that I connect to that energy of that truth within me. I step into the power, and I say, I am building a unified structure in my brain to bring my neural processes into alignment with source, with unity, with connection, with life, with personal growth. And the more I kind of fill that space in after letting go of those negative things, I feel, for me at least, the quicker I expand, and I really kind of see the difference in my state of being. Have you kind of experimented with kind of new intentions that feel true to you that you kind of use?
So you're saying you see something you don't like, or you experience life in a way that feels less than awesome, and you know what you don't want, and then you take that as inspiration to really say, what do I want? And then you become that new thing.
Yes.
That's so true. That's so the only way it really happens. Like, you have to become what you want. They've done those healing practices where you just imagine the person healed, and you see them as if they've already been healed. You see them running and playing and living the life that they love. And that's the only way that it really works, from my experience, is like, I have to become, I can't shoot for some far off goal but I have to become what I want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like the more, we can say that, okay, so your thoughts, your thoughts create your reality. And then, I've heard that a million times. And before I was like, okay, yeah, I believe that. I understand that. And then like a few weeks later, a few months into it, okay, I get it. Like, this is actually real. And then a few months later, it's just like, okay, this is 100% true, and I'm seeing the results in this moment. And it's like, the more, I don't know, it's like the stronger you believe, the stronger you know that, and like, allow yourself to literally shift, like, in this moment. And then now in this moment, I'm a completely different person, like, actually. But I don't know if you've heard of Bashar, like the channeler. He speaks about how it's like the same cells in our body, like we shed them off. Not we shed them, but we don't have any of the same exact cells that we did when we were born. Have you read those articles?
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Bashar. The way he puts it is you actually step into a parallel reality. Like you're not even in the same reality anymore. So like say you really want to become a fireman or a firewoman, and that's like your dream. Like right now you work at McDonald's. You can't really focus too much on that fact that you work at McDonald's right now. You have to like actually see that and become that parallel reality where you are working on the fire truck. And like it's literally another universe. And he even talks about on a planetary level how some people will ask him questions like, yeah, but Bashar, how do we deal with the government or the military? How do we stop war? And he says, that's only one parallel Earth that's happening right now. There are infinite parallel Earths where some of them have war going on, some of them have complete peace and harmony. You're only in one version of reality right now, so it's only like a temporary, and it's only an illusion selected from that infinite choice wheel.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's all about kind of where we're vibrating. I mean, what we're focusing on. It all comes down to focus. What we focus on grows and expands. So that's why it's like, exactly. There could be two people working at McDonald's. One person believes that they're always going to be at McDonald's, and that, somewhere in their mind, something says that they don't deserve any better, or that they can't put their apron down and walk out the door right now and figure it out for themselves, and figure it out and dream a new dream. And someone else right next to them could do that in a second. And it's all about belief. And then, I guess it really just comes down to just choices. It's all just choices.
And there could be a third person working at McDonald's who really loves it, and it's their dream job. And that brings us back to this point that nothing in reality, nothing that exists has an innate judgment built into it. Nothing is innately good or innately bad, but it's only our perception of it.
Oh, absolutely. Because when we can put the binary thinking of the ego mind, the linear thought processes about past, future, good, bad, black, white, victim, perpetrator, when we can really just see those things, choose neither, and just, reside in the neutral space that everything kind of takes place in. It's literally a completely new way of interacting with the world. I mean, I studied media, information, and technology culture, and we spoke a lot about linguistics and about language and about symbolism and those kind of things. And our whole culture and our whole school system, our whole everything, we give meaning to things in opposition to what they're not. So, a man's a man because he's not a woman, and a woman's like this, and then a man's like this. And it's so old world, it's so 3D now that, I mean, I think it's getting, if those of us, if people want to make new choices and are fed up with this old game of the bully in the sandbox making all the rules and telling all the other kids that they have to play their game, then, there's so many other sandboxes to just jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited that we can move past that and come to this place of neutrality. And the place of neutrality is the place of creation. It's the place of play. It's the place of coexisting in unity with each other and having complete love, respect, and acceptance for the other being, the energetic signature, their state of being, what they are, who they are, seeing them and loving them as an expression of the whole, just like you are. And really seeing that there's absolutely no separation between us. There's absolutely no separation. So that excites me. Let's move on to speak a little bit about the New Age community, the New Age, this whole movement that's going on the planet. I know when I started to awaken and kind of just seek out this new information about, like, what is spirituality? Like, I've never really looked into that, and, like, all of this stuff about, holistic health, and about, oh, you mean pharmaceuticals aren't good for you, and all of this stuff. There's just so much information out there that I think it's so important, especially at this time, to develop that sense of discernment and only taking the information taking the information that resonates with your own heart as true to you. Like, for everyone, especially for everyone who's listening, like me and Chase, when we speak about this, we don't put expectation, we just put this all out there and share our experience, because we share things that of value to us, or how we have grown, so then we can extend that to others, and they can kind of take what they want and leave the rest. Have you experienced that kind of sifting through the information to find the real meat and the real information?
There's as much sifting to do as there is, like, anything else. For me, it's like everybody has a part truth, and then when I really get down to it, either nothing's true or everything is true. And I don't want to play just a mental game with myself in that, but I really have to look at the people. If I'm wanting to learn from somebody, I look at how they're living their life, and then how that lines up to what they're saying. And if I can't really find like the grounded example of what they're saying, then it's hard for me to really believe it or or even use it as relevant information. Because really, it's like anything that we say, it's just sounds and words that convey different symbols. And really, I see us all we're on a planet, and there are other planets too, but we're just standing here or sitting here, and we've got all these tools, and we can talk to each other. And we can really change our whole experience of this place with different thoughts in our head, right? Or in our heart. And so what you're saying about the resonance, it really has to resonate with really what you're feeling and wanting in your heart. Otherwise, it's just more data, and it might be someone else's treasure, and it's trash to you. Like the words that I'm saying could mean absolutely nothing to you, but to someone else they could mean the world. It could be like a key to some incredible Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, absolutely. And that also ties back to, setting your intention to the day of what information that you want to come into contact with. What do you want to be shown to you? Because if you go around and it's like, okay, the world's going to burn, and like, oh, all of this, all of these wars are going on, and all of these whistleblowers, and oh, look at Bradley Manning just sentenced to prison, and kind of just in that, still in the story, still talking about stories and drama, and the whole, merry-go-round of everyone's opinions and judgments and whatever. When you can kind of step outside of that and then check in with yourself and be like, okay, I'd love to come across information that will help me, breathe more deeply, or that will help this headache to go away, or that will help me in my relationships to build new relationships. Even just kind of like, putting it out there, like I'd like to come across the information that is in the most congruent alignment with my highest expression and my highest potential. Put that out there. And when I do that, I skip over all of the kind of the garbage and the drama, and then I find little gems and little jewels kind of scattered around, kind of coming at me from different directions. And then I just kind of take what resonates, and I literally just leave the rest. And for me, kind of what I do to kind of check with the information if it's valid or if it's true, especially when we're talking about consciousness and about truth and about God and about love and all these things, when I come across kind of like a fact that someone says to be a fact or something about reality or about, the way of life, I kind of take that piece of information and that fact, and then I say, can I use my imagination to kind of, use this method, this kind of discourse, this way of thinking, and can I apply it to kind of scientifically? Can I see it socially? Can I see it artistically? Can I see it politically? And I kind of break it down and look at it from different angles and see if it's kind of transparent and can kind of shed light on all of those different areas, if you know what I mean?
You look at how it affects, like, all these multidimensional aspects of yourself?
Kind of like if I came across, say, what example could I use? The thoughts create a reality. If I came across something like that, then I'd look at kind of what implications that has with different areas of life, is what I'm saying. So I kind of just like test it out and how it applies to different things, and if it makes sense, and if it feels okay, so like well, that would make sense over here, and that would make sense in, in this arena, and just kind of see if it's fluid and if it's more of like a thread that I can kind of take as true to me and then apply in my daily life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We have a caller, so should we do that? Should we take that?
Exciting. Yeah, let's see who it is.
Okay, and also if anyone else wants to call in, all you listeners, then the number to call is 646-716-4598, and we would love to chat with you. So let's take our first caller of the evening. We have area code 805. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Who are we speaking with tonight?
My name is Mitch, and I'd like to order a large pizza.
Hey,
Domino's.
Mitch.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, brother?
You guys last week. How you guys doing this week?
Would you like that in medium or large?
Well, do you got any daily specials? They always want to sell you on the daily special. They're like, would you like to try our breakfast pizza? Like, no.
Oh, goodness, breakfast pizza. Goodness. I'm doing well, Mitch. How's your week going?
It's going pretty good. Just no brain, no pain, you know? It kind of seems like that, with what you guys are talking about. There's this thing called the flicker effect, and what it is that our brains, they could process 24 things per second, and when it goes over that amount, it seems like a lot, 24 things in 1 second, but when it goes over that amount, we get overloaded. And, if you do any search on the internet, and do something on Google, put in dogs, and 1,027 results will come up. And that's how many choices there are to be made nowadays. And, going from instinct, like a lot of, sometimes we need to think things out, but I think it's more, the brain should just be used as a GPS. I need to get bananas, take a left on this street type of thing. But, with serious information that we're talking about, information about consciousness or, becoming the best person that you can, I think if it resonates in your heart, it's just as simple as, does it give you a nice feeling or does it give you a sick feeling? And I think that's a good way to find a path, because thinking sometimes just brings us into more thinking, and all truths are really relative truths, like the sun rises, it's only a relative truth. If you're in outer space, it doesn't rise. And the one truth, though, is that we're one consciousness, and that's, the true one truth. There's kind of other truths, but I believe that there's just one truth, that we're all one, we're a single consciousness.
Yeah, you bring up some really good points there, Mitch. It's we live in this world, and it's like you go to the supermarket and there's like 74 different types of cereal to choose, and every one of them is gonna rot your brain anyways. But it's just kind of like having not even a selection, but it's just all of these kind of distractions. That's what this, that's what it is. It's distractions to get you thinking about all of these mundane little things, chasing your tail around, thinking your way, and you're never going to come to the conclusion or find the things that you really want out of life in your brain with the same consciousness. Right? And once we put that down, we get out of the mind and we come into stillness and ask for the answers to just be delivered or to receive them, to receive those gifts, whatever way they're going to come to us. I get more insight and I get more understanding, and I come across more knowledge and information sitting in my bedroom on a pillow than I would going to my university lecture.
Yeah, most of it's just inside, and it just takes wanting that. I know. It just seems like such a simple thing, and just taking the time, to create a foundation for peace, taking that time and taking a break out, from constantly having to achieve something and achieving nothing, which is our essence, nothing, space, spirit, it can't be thought, it can only be felt. So maybe, taking that time and getting back in touch. I don't know, I feel like I'll get on these, like, I'll get kind of not impulse driven, but kind of driven, and I get tunnel vision. Like, I'll start doing music. I'm a musician, and I'll start writing the song, and then I'll just really get into the composition, and I'll listen to it a bunch of times, and it seems like it just brings me away. It's like something that I really can't. I could put it down, but it just seems like the song is never done, and it kind of draws me away from peace. It's really just these fleeting things, temporary manifestations.
Yeah. Tracy, do you want to speak to that? Because I have another comment if you wanted to say it.
Yeah, I have something. You're talking about choices. I'll go back to that cereal comment, because you can go down the grocery store, see 74. Is that the exact number, Matthew? Did you count that?
I think it was. Good listening.
74 different kinds of cereals. And there's a big illusion on all this, because the number of ingredients is
like 4.
Yeah, mostly it's just the wheat grain and the sugar, processed sugar. So there's a big illusion there. But here you can use you could call it your third eye, or your creative mind, or the perceptive center that creates new. It repurposes the stuff that's there. So you're in the aisle with all these cereal boxes. What they're presenting to you is all these cereals that you can buy and eat. But you can look at it in a new way and just see it as like a slab of color. You could see it as one big piece of artwork, and then you're going in there with a new frame of mind. You're not looking to buy things or eat things, but you're looking at it just as some sort of art project.
Like, yeah, what appeals to you, what appeals to your expert taste?
Right. See, and then there's if you really look at that, there's like infinite ways of walking through the cereal aisle, because then you can play another game where you actually listen to the sounds of each cereal. So you're in there as a musician or as a sound, you're just a sound artist, and you're experimenting with how different shapes of encrusted cooked wheat products sound when you shake them. And then it's not a grocery store anymore. It's like a playground. You could do that. You can apply that with everything in your life.
I love how you said that, because I'm also finding, like, the more goofy and silly and lighthearted, and the more I am present in the moment, just celebrating life and just, playing and just, like, not taking it seriously, the more that I actually know what I'm doing without knowing what I'm doing, because you get into that fluid flow where everything is a new creation. Everything is, your imagination, your dreams just become rooted. You're still present and you're still engaged with what's going on, but, there's some, like, detachment, like a kid that just is, like, running on the playground, having, like, the best time of his life because his mom actually took him to the playground today, and then he falls down and he cuts his knee, and then all of his focus and his awareness and his entire world goes down to that cut knee and about the boo-boo on his knee and how now his knee hurts and he was just running and he loves to run with his legs and now that he has a bum leg. And his mom comes over and by her not matching his reality of his entire world as a boo-boo on the knee, when she kisses that knee and uses her consciousness, uses her focus and holds the space and tells him, you know, that's okay, now the knee is all better. Automatically, he shifts the perspective back to the miracle and the dream of playing on the play set, and he goes back to that. That's how quick we can shift our perspective, and that's how different our perspectives are, that we could be in the same space, but we could be in totally two different worlds.
Look at all these flash mobs that are becoming a trend. People will go into public places like town plazas, grocery stores, and shopping malls, and they just like spontaneously break into song and dance. And they have it organized with many people, right? That is a planned reality buster. It's like breaking open the lid on some mental construct of what a space is. And they go in just like that mother kissed the kid's knee and just busted his reality for a moment, or brought him back to, brought him back from this painful experience. People will do that with these flash mobs because it surprises people. It gets them on their toes and really seeing the space as a playground again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we even see this, just the agenda for our attention is so huge. I mean, you turn on the television and like I don't even watch television. I haven't even watched television in like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years since I've actually watched a real show on television. But I turn on the commercial and it's just like it's just like they're like blasting your brain with like, oh my gosh, like we have this mattress on sale for $799, and if you come down right now, like this can be yours. And then they like have like these models dancing and like all of this confetti and stuff everywhere, and it's like just a commercial about a mattress at this warehouse down the street. And it's just unbelievable the the spectacle, you know, the spectacle that we are presented with, and it's all kind of just this bubblegum reality to kind of, you know, suck our energy, man, like suck our attention, suck our awareness, kind of just like take our power and like sell it back to us.
Hold on now. What if you really took that reality that they painted with the confetti and the girls dancing on the mattress, and you really used your creative power to create that reality? So this time you went in to buy the mattress and you weren't manipulated by the advertisement, by some like fantasy. You really did, when you bought that mattress, your belief that reality would happen really created confetti in your bedroom.
I think the confetti sounds better than the mattress. It'd be much cheaper, and you could just bring it wherever you go and have an instant party for like $5. You're like, woo! I got a box of cereal.
Actually, I'd actually like to talk about mattresses for a sec, just because, you know, our whole world is so about, you know, like, let's get the comfiest thing, and come on, everyone, like, let's just cozy in here to have a great ride into the Matrix, and, like, I don't even like my comfy bed anymore, because it feels like, it just doesn't feel real. Like, I've been sleeping on the floor because I like the solidity of like feeling like I'm sleeping like with the earth, I'm actually sleeping on real ground, and I'm actually like, okay, this is real. This is my floor. This is my sacred ground that I can like feel and like love. And I feel like with my bed, it's just kind of like I'm sinking into this like, it's like it's not comfortable anymore.
Yeah, dude, actually, mattresses are pretty bad for your back.
Mm. So Mitch, did you have any other
I was just going to say, I used to love to sleep on the floor in the back of the car while my parents drove. It was really comfortable. But no, I didn't have any other comments. Just wanted to support you guys and join the conversation for a while.
Cool. Well, did you wanna stay on then?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Definitely. I got nowhere to go. You guys got 10 minutes left?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got 10 minutes.
Of course. No, I'm just here to
10 minutes on the pizza?
Yeah, 10 minutes on the pizza. I'm waiting, and if I don't get it in 10 minutes, I guess I get it for free.
Oh my gosh! Actually, my first job ever was washing dishes at Pizza Hut. So we're gonna have to change the topic because that just brings up a lot of old emotional charge that I'm not ready to move through yet.
Matthew, I didn't know we had that in common.
Oh, you worked at Pizza Hut as well?
I worked at a different pizza place. Dishwashing was my first job. Oh, that soggy pizza in the train.
Oh
my God.
Okay.
Tough job.
All right, let's go back to the show. I actually have something that I'd like to read. This is kind of shifting gears, but I think that this is important to talk about, especially about, as the, the veil is thinning, as the membrane between different dimensions, different realities is kind of thinning and the membrane's kind of disappearing. The entities and the attachments and the charges and the things that are attaching themselves to people, or that they're holding on to in their subconscious or their unconscious, things like that, they're kind of coming to the surface and it's bubbling up more and more. And I am noticing in other people that I'm seeing behaviors that I can kind of identify and then kind of hold neutral to instead of reacting to. And I have a list of archonic deceptive behaviors and a list of God sovereign free behaviors. And I just kind of like to read them so that our listeners and anyone listening can use these to distinguish behaviors that they might notice in themselves or others. And it's really been helping me out. So I'm just going to share that. So for archonic deceptive behavior, now this is like victim perpetrator and these kind of control agendas that are actually playing themselves out right now on the planet. Here are some characteristics of archonic deceptive behavior. So disassociation and narcissism, mental rigidity, emotional fracturing, carelessness, deceitful, dependence, false reality delusions, and divided competition. Now these things, if you just like turn on the television and look at like all of the top bankers and just kind of like the people that we see in our world, I really notice a lot of these low vibrational energies playing themselves out and surrounding us. And I have God sovereign free behaviors that I'd also like to share that I have been practicing and making a commitment to being. So I'm going to share those as well. So we have empathy and compassion, mental openness, emotional stability, responsibility, honesty, sovereignty, having a clear reality assessment, and unified cooperation. So I thought I'd share those two. Does any of that resonate with you guys?
Definitely. Definitely. I had a realization years back, maybe 10 years ago, and it was just exactly that. You know, I was able to see it in myself, but those lower vibrational thoughts or emotions, they're what hold us back. But I think the beautiful thing is we can be in that circle, you know, in those circular patterns of thoughts our whole lives, and it only takes one day, you know, to rectify yourself, you know, just one day, you know, you could fail all your life, and it just takes one day, and I think a lot of it's just opposites, you know. Opposites are polarities. You know, you look at a polarity that'll hold you back, and then you look at the opposite. When I do meditations, I'll do a meditation. It's very similar to that. The words are all similar, but on the inhale, we'll inhale the negative emotions and the negative thoughts, and then we'll exhale the positive emotions and positive thoughts. And it's really it's strange because it takes one to know one. You know, the reason why we can possibly a reason why we could see it in others is because it's in ourselves, and to see that egotistical way in another person and then to not bring it up helps dissolve it.
Yes, me and Chase were speaking about that of kind of seeing it and just not choosing it. You know, it's not about judgment. It's not a label at all. It's just an observation. You know, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To understand it really takes the the repulsion away. Like when you see someone doing something you call egotistical, but really it's just something that you do that you're kind of denying about yourself, and it bugs you, but you haven't taken action to change it. And so this other person shows up in your life to reflect it, and then like you learn from it, but only through understanding it. Like, so you get to see that person, and at first it's repulsive, and you call it fear-based thoughts, and this person is egotistical. But then the understanding, when you bring it into your heart, you see that person for like a real person, and maybe they're suffering, so they act out in a certain way. And so you connect to that, the heart of the matter. And then through that understanding, you're like, oh, okay, so all the evil in the world is just, you know, someone suffering. You know, someone is suffering, and then they're kind of getting other people wrapped up in it.
Absolutely. It's just, yeah, we can use the analogy or the of kind of just like a mask, you know, when we don't want to show ourselves fully, we don't think that we could, you know, we can receive that love or just kind of shine our light unconditionally. Then, you know, to protect ourselves, we put on those masks, you know, and like that could be, you know, there's an infinite number of masks to wear, and I find the more that I have respect for humanity and what we're all kind of going through together right now on the planet, it is easier and easier to see through those masks and to see the God in everyone, really, you know? Yeah.
It's kind of strange how it's opposites. sometimes, you know, it might seem like something might seem bad, but we're all just looking for love and looking for peace, wanting to be accepted. You know, even if it comes from a weird place, from somebody being sarcastic or mean, I think everybody just wants to find that place of peace. No one really wants to suffer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, it's kind of always just kind of a call for help, you know, when we see that pain really, or those behaviors. It's just kind of a call for love, you know. That's what it is. At least when I can observe it in myself, if I was acting out like a victim or as a bully or putting myself down or putting someone else down, it's always just because I can't, or I haven't came to peace at something, you know, within my own heart. And it's really powerful when we can put down the personality, put down the labels, put down all that separation, and then just, you know, kind of just show up in the present where everything is and where it's all good.
Yeah, I think forgiveness is going to help us a lot to reach that place, you know, rather than punishing people, you know, like, I know it's a tangent, you know, but looking at, you know, unwanted behavior, unpleasing behavior, you know, you look at the legal system and what it does, you know, it really doesn't reform people, and it doesn't rehabilitate them, you know. So we need some other way, you know, rather than punishment. You know,
absolutely.
Acceptance. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mitch. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for tonight.
Excellent.
Thanks, everyone. Much love.